Raising your prices. This is a topic that always gets some type of argument / controversy / people get just pissed off about it. And we want to talk about it, and we want to talk about why we think you should always be considering raising your prices right now on the Biz Talk. This is a very important topic. I would say this is something that we've been preaching for many, many, many years. And as of late, I would say in the last 12 months, we've been getting tons of comments, tons of people basically saying that the prices we claim you should charge are unrealistic, are not possible, and we've even had some people so mad and angry. And it's kind of funny because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is help your business. And so raise your prices, when we talk about raising your prices, or on the How Much series specifically, where Tracey and I hear this is meant to help nail technicians, professionals, even if you're in hair or skin, if you're in the beauty business. The whole idea is we want to help you make more money. We're not trying to piss you off, man.
We're trying to help. We honestly are trying to help.
So, Tracey, we were just talking about this outside. We had a couple topics we're reviewing, and she's like, we have to revisit the pricing topic because it's, we really, and here's the reality. I said to Tracey, I'm like, no matter what, there's still going to be angry people that comment, and that's okay.
No, that's great.
Right?
Comment away.
If you're angry,
a little, but it's okay.
If you're mad and angry, comment below and let us know that if you think that we're smoking dope or totally on crack for saying what we're about to say. Okay, but there are some things, obviously there's people don't get the full story of our belief in raising prices and what we talk about on the How Much series. And so let's go through that first. First of all, Tracey, the prices that you talk about on How Much, let's just start there, okay?
Okay.
Those are your prices that you would charge today if you had your own salon, and that's based off of what you used to charge 10 years ago. So you're sort of market adjusting your pricing, right? So when I ask you at the end and I say, okay, Tracey, how much? You're basically telling me this is what I would charge in the salon for the service.
And I'm really not exaggerating. It's not one of those. In fact, because people make so many comments sometimes about it, I will go back to other nail techs, mentors, who are in salon,
right,
and be like, okay, am I crazy? Am I crazy? And they're like, no, they are charging these prices.
Right.
And I think sometimes, because we talk about this, the market and what your market will bear, we understand people live in different places. Though I did live in a very small town.
Right.
That had a lot of unemployment.
Right.
And, but I think sometimes people will miss that how much when we talk about that. So if your market doesn't bear it, don't charge it.
Well,
but you really have to take a look in the mirror. Is it for a fact that your market will not bear it?
Right.
Or are you afraid to actually do it? That's the question.
That's probably, I would say, the one of the bigger issues is, are you afraid to do it? Here's another issue. Can you do it? What I mean is your skill level up to being able to charge that much also? Now, you got to remember, when Tracey is a experienced, very successful salon tech. if somebody's coming out of school, Trace, and they're still doing 2-hour sets or 3-hour sets, would you recommend they charge $90 for a full set of acrylics?
Not if it's not worth it.
Okay. So like, this is what I'm saying. Like, there is like a skill level that is involved in this. You can't say, right? I think this is very clear. Actually, I want to make sure I'm getting clarification from you. We're not saying if your nails are falling off, if they take 3 hours to do,
right?
If they, are not matching up to the skill level that is required to charge that much, you shouldn't be charging that much. And I think the market is going to very quickly
tell you that.
Probably tell you that, right?
Yeah.
Now, the bigger issue that we see is there are a lot of nail technicians that have incredible skill but are afraid to charge that much, correct?
And there is people in their town that is charging more, that maybe not as talented as they are. So that's where I'm getting confused, because there is anger behind it. We've seen it.
We have seen it.
And it's like, but don't you want to make more money? And that's all we're trying to do, is you to make the most, because some people call it robbery, that we're being thieves. No, it's we're charging for our skills, just like a hairdresser charges for their skills, or whatever, a mechanic. I mean, mechanics are expensive.
They are.
They're charging for their talent. So I'm a little confused by the anger, but that's okay, because it's getting them thinking. Yeah, and that's what we want.
We definitely do. And if you're getting angry over it, it either means that you're not getting what you should, or you are truly scared to charge what you should charge. I think that's probably more of it. And that's not a dig. That's just like a lot of times when I'm challenged, if somebody says something to me, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, most of the time when I've been challenged with the honest truth, and when I knew it was true, but I didn't want to admit it, I got pissed and angry and very defensive. Later, I came to the conclusion that it was correct, and I actually made these changes in my life. I'm thinking of 2 specific situations, and where friends were honest with me and told me something, and then I came to terms with it weeks later, made a huge change in my life, and it completely put me on a different course. And I think that's probably more likely of what's happening is somebody's getting angry, like they're not charging enough. It's clear you're not charging enough. And that's why you're getting angry, is like, we're telling you, you could be making this much money, but you're not, and you're getting upset about it.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it's scary, and that can kind of show up as anger.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not scary to tell someone a price. I'm not saying that I was always confident in saying a certain price.
Right.
But following the footsteps of some other very talented nail techs, and them having my back, like we're trying to have your back, and saying, just do it. I did it, and it wasn't scary anymore. And I realized that people were more than willing to pay for it.
It's okay. Why not try this? Like, if you're basically saying you would never go to those lengths of charging that much money, what about, why not just add $5? Like, I always say this whenever I meet techs at shows, and they're like, I can't raise my price, it's crazy, I'm going to lose clients. I just say, okay, start with this. Raise it $5. Yeah. Like, you're telling me you're charging $30, which is insanely low. You're charging $30. What about $35? Are you telling me you're going to lose all your clients? $30? No? Okay. Why don't you push up against a little bit of that level of uncomfortable feelings you have inside? Charge $40, $10. You think you're going to lose all your clientele? You're not. No. You are not going to lose all your clientele.
And what's funny is sometimes you'll tell them that, like, $5, and they look at you like, why?
The point?
What's the point? What's the point?
We can do the math.
We can do the math. It makes a huge difference. $5 extra each client makes a huge difference. And and I will say that watching Instagram, since this is the new year, there's been a lot of techs that we follow or that I follow on my Instagram too that are raising their prices. Good. And they're posting it on Instagram. And I'm like, that's awesome. More power to you. That's great.
I've seen that too. Starting this date, prices go up. Prices are going up. It's, again, if you're charging $50 a set and you want to raise your prices, Tracey charges $90 for a full set. Okay, let's start here. If you charge $50, we're not saying go to $90 right tomorrow. You
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Please don't do that.
But what we're saying is, like, Tracey, she worked years building her clientele, and if she was going to charge today, that's what she would charge. And you know what? She would get it, and she would have honestly, you would have a full clientele very, very, very quickly, because now, obviously, not only is your skill set at that level where you can pretty much charge whatever you want, but beyond that, you have the marketing expertise now to really drive that clientele to your door,
Which
right?
Makes a difference too.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. All that support behind you makes you very desirable, and you get to increase your pricing, which I just really want people to look in the mirror. And I find it interesting too, because they're also talking about tips. Have you seen that? And
what do you mean talking about tips?
Have you seen that on there was a couple comments about tips and
tip overlays?
No, tips, like getting tipped.
Oh, getting tips.
Yeah. And one of the comments, was, that I felt that I had the right to be tipped, and that's absolutely not true. But I do like tips, and I appreciate them. And what I did is I made my pricing where I didn't worry about a tip.
Right.
But my clients were very generous and very nice.
Anyway.
And they liked the service, and they were very nice about it. But don't count on tips as part of your pricing.
Right.
Price your pricing where you want it.
That is such great advice, because then what it does, it takes any potential resentment out of the service, right? Whether you get tipped or not, you almost don't care.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, because you're going to make money, and then your entire service is way more relaxed, because I could see myself obsessing about the tip. I could be like, I really need these tips today because I need my service to be here. I need to make this much money. And so like you said, you start counting on the tips.
Yeah, you never want to do that.
You don't want to do that. It puts a different stress behind your service and then the relationship. If you set your pricing to where you don't have to, like you were saying, that is great. That then is like, I'm going to do the most amazing service. And then it's all gravy. It's like bonus if you get tipped.
Yeah, and I always appreciated it. And if someone didn't, I didn't even think about it. Just, honestly, I didn't really look at the money. They give me the money. I realized there was enough money there, and I put it away, And if they tipped, that was great, and it was appreciated.
Give it to me?
No, never. But
it's bonus, basically, at that point, right?
Yeah, it's very cool, but not ever expected on my part.
That is a solid pricing strategy. And like, everything that we talk about here concerning pricing is to benefit the industry. It's to benefit you and your business. This is the angle we've always come from, Young Nails. On the education front, it's always, our education is based on growing your business. Yep. That includes pricing and where you should be. And how can you justify pricing? Well, that's the first thing. I hear that all the time. I get DMs, People will DM me personally and be like, I saw your biz talk on this, and you talk about, you and Tracey, about pricing or how much, how can I charge this much? I don't have anything to offer beyond the salon down the street. Well, then go, you got to learn, you got to expand your services. I mean, Tracey talks about this all the time. You should be offering gel, acrylic, tips, art, everything in your arsenal. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I think people forget that people come to you because they like you too. It's a personality and your environment and all that. It's like, I could go look for a white t-shirt and get it at a very cheap place.
Yeah.
Or I can go to the next store that's more expensive, or a store that's very expensive. And there's people that shop at every point. What's the difference?
Yeah.
It's where I like to shop. And so the salon, I think people get too tied up about what the person next to them is doing. Right. Just do you.
That it's like, a lot of nail services out there, it's become almost a commodity, right? It's become very price driven of like, I'm going to go, I want to get this, I should be paying this price. Like, don't make your business part of that. Service.
It'll stress you out.
It will stress you out. And I love what you just said about like bringing your own personality and charm and like the way that you engage with your client is such a huge part. The way that you have to separate your services is you being you, your personality, them coming and sitting with you because they're going to chat with you for the next hour. You have to create that engaging relationship. It is, I mean, it's what we try to do with all of our customers through social media, all of our distributors. This is what we try to do. We try to differentiate ourselves by making a connection.
Right. And I think what you were saying about the education and the pricing and all that is we are completely transparent. We it's not arrogance.
Right.
It's confidence.
Yeah.
It's confidence in you that you deserve this.
Right.
And that brings the passion out in us, because I just hate it when I see someone struggling or not making what they should be making. I want it so bad for everybody to be successful.
You can't teach confidence. And how many times, Tracey, have we seen very amazing, talented nail techs come to our booth at a show show us their nails? It's like, wow, what do you charge for that? And it's like $40 or maybe $50, and we're like, oh my God, no, that's
so talented.
You know what's funny? We had a family party over the holidays, and my cousin's girlfriend had this beautiful set of nails. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the conversation came up about pricing, and she said, I paid $120 for this set, and
hold it. I bet she said that kind of proud.
Oh, very, very proud.
Yeah.
Okay, now I asked her, I said, okay, is that gel polish? It's a gel polish overlay with stones. And she was like, wow. Like, yeah, that's what it
weird.
was. Yeah, you're weirdo. And all my cousins were laughing because, I knew. And I said, $120. I'm like, for gel polish, it seems a little high. What kind of stones are those? And she says they're, how do you say it? Swarovski?
I always say
Swarovski.
You know what it is.
Swarovski crystals. And then I went, oh.
That's why.
That's $120. And everybody was like, that's great. You're crazy. I said, no. You don't understand.
Oh, and you can tell the difference. I bet those were blinging.
No, they were. That's why. They were super blinging from across the room, and everybody noticed them. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's what you get for a $120 set is everybody in the room is going to stop. They're going to look at those nails. And to me, I was like, trust me, like you did not overpay. That's a beautiful set. And she was so proud and happy about it. It was amazing.
It is crazy. The clients get this confidence.
They do.
They love it. They brag. And the feedback that they get even feeds it more, which, you're talking crystals, which those are expensive for us to purchase. So,
right.
You definitely have to charge for those. But there was a comment a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, about charging for individual colors. And why would you charge for individual colors when you have to pull it out anyway? And when a hairdresser pulls out color, if they do red on your whole head of hair, okay, they charge you for that. But if they're going to do half blue and half red, they don't go, oh, well, I would have just used the red anyway, so I'm not going to charge you for the blue. They charge you for both.
Right.
So why can't we?
Well, here's the thing, too. When you start picking out different colors, now, like, if you're going to apply two different colors on the nails, there is, like, you think that's not skill? You think, like, okay, let's talk hair for a second. Blending two colors in the hair. But that's not skill. Like, of course she's going to pay more money, right?
It's talent.
if you're going to ombre with 2 colors, even if you're going to put 2 different colors on 2 different nails, still, even with color acrylic, maybe it's more difficult to apply one color over another. That's probably not the case with all of them, but like actually making sure the colors are working together, picking which nails they go on, whatever it is. That's
pulling it out, pulling several different things out. Our table looks like just like war had happened on it. You've got everything out. Yes, really, as far as product, you're using the same amount.
Right.
But as far as talent,
it's not the same thing. You have to charge for it. And like, if you're not charging for it, that's fine. It's your business. You know what I mean? But if you're mad that we're telling you, that's good. That means, like Tracey said earlier, it's got you thinking. I don't want to make you mad, and neither does Tracey. We're not here to make you mad or make you upset, but
I want to help.
We do. The bottom line is, like, if you're upset about it, just for 1 second, consider the possibility. Like, let me take one piece of advice. Let me just try it. Let me bump up my prices. Let me experiment.
Yeah.
Let me just try
Prove us wrong. You could do that. Do that. Prove us wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just
try to raise your prices.
Try it.
Just try it. And again, if you're charging 50, like, I'm not saying go to 100.
No.
But you're telling me you can't go from 50 to 55? Try it. Put $7,000 to $8,000 a year more in your pocket, because that's what it comes out to. And I just want to see a smile on your face.
Yeah. I want you to comment below, and I want you to say, I tried it. I was going to prove you guys wrong, but I tried it. And guess what? My clients bought it and they're cool with it because they love me and they appreciate my talent.
And let's do that. I would love to challenge you right here, right now. Raise your prices. Tell us how it went. You know what I mean? Prove us wrong. Give it a shot. And again, if you're unwilling, just go $5. Okay? Just give it a shot.
Not much.
It's not much.
But it'll make a big
huge difference for you. Give it a shot. Comment below. Tell us if you have raised your prices this year. Tell us your experience. Let other people know your experience of raising prices and how it has benefited you across the board. We'd love to hear about it. Our whole purpose here is to, get the nail industry going a lot further than it already is. Our whole mission is to just push and drive the nail industry. We want to do that every single day. And with that, I want to say thank you. We'll see you next week on the Biz Talk.